That's my.
It's your choice. Would you like to hear my voice?
My boy's got his own ringtone. It's the only one I know, it's the only one I know. My boy's got his own ring. Children. Then pushing back a deadline, gotta make my bedtime. Then I crack a smile. 45 group text, 50 group DM. Send another text asking me if I seen them. Pushing back a deadline, gotta make my bedtime. Then I crack a smile, cause I love you and I'll do it all again. My boy's got his own ringtone. It's the only one I know, it's the only one I know. My
Hello YouTube, it's your favorite YouTube pooper, TheChutley, here to answer the questions you sent me earlier. It's quite surprising seeing how many more questions I got this time around than on my first time. Without further ado, let's get started, shall we? The first question to kick off this Q&A video comes from Ouija1. What are your favorite tennis matches to have participated in? It's a really good question. Honestly, I've been in so many matches that it's really hard to pick a legitimate favorite. But if I had to narrow it down, it would probably be my three-way match with Super Coffee and Microprocessor. I loved my match with Absolute Billion. Any match I play with I'm a Person is awesome. My match with Jake Steele was really fun. The one with Moogle was fun. Panic with the Crisco, or Tretmaz, as you know him on YouTube, was really fun too. You know, some old favorites. My match with Miles Tails Prower was really fun. I remember that being extremely fun to do. I was really looking forward to playing him. My match with 3-Inch Horse, the very first match I ever did, was really good as well. You know, Chris Gendo, I've had a lot of fun with. Game Bop. Literally, the list could go on. Let's just say that it's a lot. Fuck you. He also asks, what are your favorite tennis matches you have seen? This is a really fucking annoying question, considering I've seen so many matches. But if I had to think about it long and hard, which, believe me, is really hard to do because I'm fucking stupid, but, you know, the very first one with Miscellaneous 10 and Conrad Slater was you know, a really good match. I remember one with Terrorist and Nuthead LMSG. I can't remember how to say his name. But that was that match basically got me into tennis in the first place. There was one in the doubles tournament with Microprocessor, Game Bop, Quacks, and oh my god, I forget his name. The Safario Brothers or something like that. And that one left a huge impression on me. Any match that Microprocessor and Game Bop have done, any match that the Tennis Fucks have done, have been phenomenal matches, and I recommend you watch every single one they've ever done. But, you know, it's really hard to pick a favorite, considering I enjoy the, well, I used to enjoy the art of, you know, simply watching a YouTube hoop or a tennis match was something that you just couldn't really measure unless it really stood out. So there's a lot of favorites I could name. I could sit here all night, which I'm not going to do, so you'll have to settle for what I've said. Ouija1 also asks, what are your favorite video and audio effects? Video effects, I'm a big fan of blurs. I like Gaussian blur a lot. I usually play around with that a lot. Unsharp mask and Gaussian blur bump map, Gaussian blur, color curves. I usually make my own custom color curves. I used to have like a bunch saved, but I reformatted my computer and now I have none. Black restore I use a lot. HSL, adjust, invert, min and max, mirroring, pixelation is really good. Spherize, swirl. You know, I try to use as many video effects as possible. I don't really like to limit myself to a handful. So I like to experiment with the video effects available to me. In terms of audio effects, I really like chorus, distortion, flange, wah-wah. I have a list of VST plugins that I got back in 2010, and some of those include the delay, ring mod, shepherd, tracker. Those ones are all fantastic. Round pan also is a really good one. Simply panning is, you know, like a staple effect that I do. Reverb, multi-tap delay was I kind of made infamous too, so obviously I have to include that one.
But I'm afraid that covers all of them.
And lastly, CryptoOuija1 asks, do you like Skrillex? No, I'm afraid I don't really like dubstep that much. Oh, I'm afraid he asked one more question. CryptoOuija1 asks also, will you cuddle with me?
Only if you send me the decoded of your firstborn child.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry about that. The next question comes from the Razor Edge. Since you did post a link to this in Skype, would you consider the program to be an advertisement for your own workings sometimes? Yes! I often send my own YouTube poops to fellow YouTube poopers on Skype, and I sometimes get some of their YouTube poops sent to me, and sometimes I watch them and sometimes I don't. And I give critique back. He also asks, and since you are out of the tennis cup, are we going to see tennis matches from you? Yeah, you might. I'm not exactly finished with tennis, although I am a lot slower. I'm older now. I have more responsibility. I have a job. I am also in school. I have a wife and 3 kids, a dog, a cat, a hamster, a goldfish. I have to take care of my mother, who is dying of syphilis. So, a lot of things in real life get in the way of YouTube poop sometimes. So, I do try to make time, but no guarantees. And he also asks, besides Glaceon and Vaporeon, what is your favorite Pokemon? Least favorite? Well, you know, there's so many Pokemon nowadays that it's, again, hard to keep track of all this shit. So I just generally like any cute-looking Pokemon. All the evolutions are awesome. And then, you know, fucking like Pikachu and Coughing and Jigglypuff. The next question comes from the Razor Edge again. Also, will you cuddle with me as well as Creeper? No, I only cuddle with CryptoOuija1. Blooditsu asks, are you a furry? Yes. The Razor Edge asks, would you consider Blooditsu a furry? Yes.